Good afternoon to one and all present over here. On behalf of MAM School of Engineering, IQAC and FDP organizes this webinar event on outcome-based learning. I'm Dr. A. Punita. I'm going to present my presentation. So what is outcome-based education? Before going into an outcome-based education, so let me all want to know what is an education. So when we are saying about an education, it is the most powerful tool. That is how by using that, how we can change the world. So education is it was given by Nelson Mandela actually. It is a powerful tool that we can change the world. So in olden days, what we are done it of, actually we are done the education by means of by framing and curriculum. So in that, we'll be conveying all the informations to the students, and the grades and the marks will be awarded based on what we had taught. That is what we had we have followed up in the olden days. But today, what we are requiring the students to think by themselves. They have to learn by themselves. They have to develop their knowledge. So focusing to we are focusing them to how they can be, how we can develop their knowledge, skills, or by way of an attitude, everything. So that has to be carried out when we are seeing of an outcome-based education. So when we are saying an outcome-based, so that is we are shifting our focus to get an outcome by the student or from the student. That is to be outcome-based education. So when we are saying up here, let me start with the quotes. What Spady has said that, so outcome based does not mean curriculum based. So it has to be with outcomes sprinkled on top. It is a transformational way of doing business in education. So it should not be based on a curriculum. So we have to sprinkle. So that is what Spady has said it of. Similarly, James Stark has said that, so education that is an outcome based, so it should be an learner centered. So we should have the space to learn by the students. So it should be the results oriented system founded on the belief that all the individuals can learn. That was given by an James Stark. So in 1996. So introduction. So when we are saying about an outcome-based education, so Washington Accord in 2014, so we had a permanent signatory status of the NBA. So we all know that NBA is considered a big leap forward for the higher education system in India. So when we are saying that, so what we are going for an Washington Accord, which means that an engineering graduate from India, they can be employed in any of the other countries who have signed an accord. For the engineering education institution, so in order to get an NBA, so all the education engineering institution compulsory should follow the outcome-based education model. So in order to get an accreditation, we should follow the OBE model. So what is the history of Washington Accord? So actually, the Washington Accord can be given off into three different phases: initial phase, development phase, and we'll be having of an structured phase. So initial phase started by 1989. Actually, 6 organizations has signed up over on it, and then they are formed with the frame of an original rules. So they have had only of an peer review process. So till 1994, we were in initial phase. Then after that, we'll move on to an development phase. So in development phase, they make an accords and agreements, and they have developed an gradual attributes. So attributes here, what are the knowledge or what are the skills that has to be developed or has to be given for an graduate. So that has been given in the case of an development phase. So when we are going for an structured phase, so from 2007 to 2013, so we make an establishment and then transactional accreditation and we have an accord recognition. So then we make a collaboration with an ENAA. So from 1989 to 2013, so there was a gradual development for signing this records. So initially started with 6 organizations. Now 15 organizations has been the permanent member in order to have a Washington Code. So basic initially we have the countries of an Australia, Canada, China, Hong Kong, Ireland, Japan, Korea, New Zealand, Singapore, South Africa, UK and USA. So now India has become the permanent member in the year of 2014. What is an OBE? So when we have already said you that it is to be an educational process. So we have to think what the students has to get and acquire as a knowledge. It should not be based on the regular classes what we had learned in our olden days. So it should be, but we cannot say that we don't have any specific style of teaching or any specific style of assessment method. We have to give a space in order to make an thinking ability. So in order to develop an knowledge or in order to develop the skills, how the behaviors can be incorporated when they are graduated, when they are graduating from the course. So for that, we have to make a fun outcome-based learning method. So when you are saying up here, so outcome-based learning, it is to be a student-centric teaching and learning methodology. So all the efforts has to be focused on to a student. It should be a student-centered method. So usually we'll be having a fun. So we have to make a plan in order to have a course delivery, assessment, everything and all. So each and everything has to be achieved in order to have an objectives and outcomes. So objective is nothing but an aim of the goal. We should motivate or we should help them. We should develop them or we should guidance them in order to achieve the goal by attaining their objectives and outcomes. Whereas OBE focuses on measuring student performance. That is, we have to measure the students' performance with different levels by conducting assignments or we can have some practical sessions. We have some presentations. We ask them to write them report. So each and everything has to be measured. So we have to be focused. It should be focuses on measuring the student performance. That is outcomes at the different levels we should have it of. We have to focus at a certain specified outcomes in terms of an individual student learning. So that is what is an OBE. So we have to, the outcomes we are making and key things, 3 things has to be carried out. One to be that what the student should understand and what they can the ability to do or what are the qualities they should develop. So these are the 3 things which has to be which will be act as an key things for the outcomes. So in order to get an outcome like this, we have to design our structural and curriculum to achieve those capabilities or qualities. So when you are saying about an educational structures and curriculum, which are regarded as means, not an ends. So obviously, if it has not been continued, we have to make an continuous quality improvement. So when you are saying about an OBE, actually, initial stage, what we're doing of now, we'll have an input. That input will be processed, and then we'll have an output based. But here, what we'll be doing of now, the thing has to be that instead of output, we have to bring out an outcome. So overall, what we are saying of the OBE is nothing but an what we teach, what students learn, that has to be find out and it has to be shown in terms of an attributes. That is why we are going for an outcome based learning. What is the difference between a traditional versus and an outcome education? So traditional education, what we are followed it of. So traditionally, what we'll be having an inputs. So we'll having on circular. We'll be making on syllabus like that. So that syllabus has to be followed up in order to have a teaching. So it content to teach and teaching methodologies we'll have it of. But in the case of an outcome based education, we have to show it has to be based on outcomes, that what is the student attainment level at the end of each course, what they had it of. So that has to be followed here. So similarly, when you're saying about a teaching in traditional education, it involves sharing of knowledge on topics. So what we have it of. But here we have to incorporate, that is, it should involve incorporating activities in order to demonstrate demonstrate the student learning. So we have to incorporate some special activities in order to have an outcome based education. So in traditional based education, the assessments which has been given based on the marks or the grades attainment by the students. But here we have to consider about that what is the outcome attainment for each and every activity that has to be considered over here. In case of traditional education, only learning has alone assessed at the end of an each course. But in the case of outcome, we have to make an we have by having a field visit, or we'll have some project, we'll have some quizzes, we'll have some assignments. So assignments is also to be an very what we can have of an energetic assignment, or what we can have of an realistic assignment, real time example assignments has to be given to the students, so that they should not copy from the Google and they have to paste it here and they have to circulate it. They have to think by their own. Individual development has to be developed by our curriculum. So that has to be focused on the case of an outcome based education. When you are saying about traditional education, so it is not focusing on continuous improvement. So just it involves continuous improvements through feedbacks. So we will be if it is not successful, we have to make an involvement or improvement. We have to get a feedback from alumni, from the students, what difficulties that they are faced it of, what are the industries experts have said it of. So these are all the things that has to be carried out when we are using of an traditional versus an outcome education. What is the paradigm shift in the education and training philosophy? Actually, till now, what method we are using? Traditional teaching method or incorporating in each and every places. That has to be shifted to an student center based learning. So it should be make it of an from traditional teaching to an student centered teaching. So in traditional teaching, what has it of? Teachers owns the knowledge and they'll be conveying to the students. That has to be shifted. What? That student has to learn as much as possible, that they are the trained, they will be training. So in the case of a traditional teaching, what will happen? Teachers brings the content and they'll be answering to the classroom, or they'll engage the classroom. But here what they should do it of, in the case of a student centered learning, teacher will be act as a coach who asks questions. They will be providing some guidelines, they have to give some space, they will be giving problems to our students. They have to identify the solution of what the course they are studied for. What is the aim of the course? What attainment they'll get it of? What is the outcome of it? So each and every thinking capability has to be developed by the student with the help of an teacher. The shift in the education and training and philosophy has been carried out. Then obviously we'll be following up and or we'll be implementing of an OBE approach. What are the expected changes? So far what we had to talk, so we should need of an outcome based education. So outcome based, it should be an education process, it focused to shift on in order to think. So what are the expected changes in order to have of an OBE? So particular, first when we starting up with, the main thing is goes to an curriculum. So we should make a revision in the curriculum, or we should restructure our curriculum. Second thing, way of delivering. So the delivering can be of an innovative method, or we'll be having of an flexible delivery method. So that can be, that change can be expected. And we should have a variety of assessment. Already I said you that we can give a field visit, or we can have a practical example, we can give a mini project or write-up thing, or we'll give an assignment, we'll give an assessment, we'll give an quiz. So this kind of assessment has to be carried out. And apart from that, we should evaluate all the methods of an assessment, what they are done of it. And so far, we doesn't have any feedback, or will not having any evidences of what we had taught it of. So the collection of all evidences has to be taken over on it. And finally, if there is any dissatisfaction, we should have often continuous quality improvement. So these are all the changes which is required for an OBE. So OBE is the process which involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment or reporting practices in education should be overhauled in order to reflect the achievement of high order thinking and mastery rather than accumulation of course credit. OBE in nutshell. So these are all the basic questions when we are speaking about an OBE. What do you want the students to have or able to do? That is the first thing. What we want, what the students has to, what the students has their ability. Obviously, we can say the answer. The main thing, what is the characteristics, what is the ability of a student? The three things that has to be mainly focused on it. The first thing is about its knowledge. Second thing is about its skill. Third thing is here affected. It is in attributes. What is the behavior? What is the characteristics? So based on the graduation or based on the course, based on the program, we have to find the student should have the ability of knowledge, skill, as well as they should have an attributes, that is in terms of one behaviors. So that is the first question. What do you want the students how to do? Second question, how can we help the students? So obviously it should be an student centered delivery. So it should be an centering facility. We have to provide some space in order to achieve it. The students should achieve that goal. And third thing, how will you know how they have achieved? Obviously by having an assessment. So how do you close the loop? Because it is a loop overall. So by evaluating the thing, and if obviously if there is any dissatisfaction or we cannot that, then we'll be making of an continuous quality improvements by having our getting our feedback, and we have to pre-curriculum the all the thing what they read of. So overall in a nutshell, the OBE can be given of for what? That is in order to attain the knowledge, skill, attributes. How can we help? So that can be given for an student-centered delivery. How will you know that they can achieve it? By making of an assessment. And how do you close the loop, which is given by an evaluation and by an continuous improvement. Now, what can be the expected of students under OBE? So we can know that. So when you are saying here, so still now they are know how the education is that they will be memorizing and they will be reproducing what we had taught it of. So when we are going for an OBE, so this is to be the more challenging task. Why so? Because the student should have the ability to write a proposal, to complete their projects. They should make an analysis. They should make and synthesize. They should have the ability to give presentation. They have to think, question, research, and they have to make a decision. What's the problem behind over on it? So each and everything which has to be carried out by the student. So when we are saying about an under OBE, it is a more challenging task other than memorize and reproduce what we have it. So apart from that, they should be a creative analysis and synthesize that information. So they should have the ability to plan and organize their task. And they are able to work in a team as a community or an entrepreneurial service teams to propose solutions to problems and market that solutions. So these are all the expected things of the students in order to have it done. Okay, so for what we have it of, so what is an OBE? So OBE is shifting and focusing from traditional teaching to one student-centered teaching. So what are the questions will be are asked as of an OBE, and what is the expectations that we can carry out on it. So in order to have it off, we'll be having of an what we'll be seeing of here. So the thing is to be that this is the chart overall what we'll be having of. The first thing what we'll be having here to be. So here we'll be having often the first point to be a program of study. So here program is that, for example, as of being we are all of an engineering faculty. So when you are saying about an electronics and communication engineering, it is to be a program. Computer science engineering, it's a program. Mechanical engineering, it's a program. So what is the program of study? That is to be a first way. So from that we have to make an objective for an program. Second thing, we have to find out an course. So that is to be a course outcome. So the course outcomes will have an course units. So here will be that evaluations, all these things will be linked to an assessment. So for all these things we'll be having of an course mapping here. So here each question will be linked to an course outcome here. So we will be having of an making an assessment. What is the outcome attained? So by having of an giving an assessment, either we can have an quiz or assignments, a group discussions or an projects. We have to make it up. whether we have attained this outcome or not. So if it is an yes, then we can move it to the learner and we'll be finding the results, or else we have to repeat the assignment. So this has to be carried out. So finally we'll be having of an results over here. So we'll be getting back to an, so that is for an individual course outcome. Then we'll be giving of an program outcome, and finally we'll be having of an graduate attributes. Then we'll be finally the certificate, complaint certificate will be given. So this is the process what we are doing over here. So each and everything, so we should have a mapping of an program outcome and your course outcome, and then we should have an assessment over on it. So that has to be taken over here. So what are the basic requirements of an OBE? So these are the three basic requirements: program educational objectives, program outcomes, and course outcomes. So when you are saying about an program education objectives, actually it is to be a long-term goal. What is a program? So already I said you that. So we'll be having of your it is to be a long-term goal. It has to be framed by a group of member. The group of member is nothing but an alumni. We can consider the group of member as an alumni, or we can have a students, or we will be having of an department, or we'll be having of an institute and the industry peoples. So we'll all sit together and make an educational objective. So it is to be a statement what the graduates after his graduation, that is suppose if he is completing by his degree by this year, the completion of this year to till 5 years, what can be his role, what will be doing of by learning of an electronics and communication engineers, what is the ability of a student, or what is the ability of a program, what he has done. That has to be framed for a program educational objective. When we are saying for an program outcomes, so actually the program outcomes to be a short-term goal. What the outcomes that has been given at the time of graduation. So what will be giving of an graduation. Similarly, last one to be a course outcome. So when you are saying about an program education objective, so it is to be an program long-term goal. So it describes expected achievements of graduates in the career, and also about professional life after graduation. It has to, and apart from that, it has to be consistent with the mission and vision of the department. So when we are going for an OBE, the first thing what we should have it of now, we should have the goal. What is the mission? What is the vision of an each and every program? That has to be framed out. So when we are framing an educational objective, it should be an consistency with the mission and the vision of the department, and it should be responsive to the expressed interest of an various groups of program stakeholders. The stakeholders is nothing but an, we can have alumni or a parents or an students, an institute, industry peoples. So they are all to be named as an stakeholders here. So these are all the achievements when you are having here. So for example, so far for the 17 regulations, each and every university has framed the program educational objectives. Even program outcomes and course outcomes have been framed by them. Before and all, we have to frame, we have to think, and we have to say what is the objective of an department of ECE, what is the objective of an engineer, what is the objective of an sample course. That is our aim, but our work has been reduced by the university. So we will be seeing of here. For example, so for an ECE, what is the educational objective they are framed it of? They have enabled the graduates in order to pursue that in terms of an research, or we'll be having in terms of an academia, or in terms of an industries associated with electronics and communication engineering, or we'll be having as an entrepreneurs. So in order to provide students with strong foundational concepts, and we'll be having of an advanced techniques and tools. So we'll have a build solutions. So apart from that, the electronics and communication engineers has to critically analyze the existing literature, and they have to find out the research oriented methodologies when they identify the problems. So these are the educational objectives which will be, they have the ability. If you are saying as an ECE engineer, after their graduation, they are all the capability of pursuing research, or they will be providing with the basic of an foundational concept, and they can use what are the tools which will be requiring in order to find the solutions in terms of varying complexity, and they can able to have an analyzing the method over here. The next one to be the program outcomes. So when you are saying about the program outcomes, it is to be a short-term outcomes. I already said you that at the point of graduation, what students are expected to know, what is the able to performance over here. So outcomes, what is an outcome? Outcomes are statements describing what students are expected to know, what they can be able to perform, what they attain by means of an graduation. So we already said you that the students are in terms of an three characteristics, skills, knowledge, and the behaviors in which they can acquire through the program. This is the program outcome. So for an engineer, they have framed the graduate attributes. 12 attributes was framed over here. The 12 attributes are to be the engineering knowledge. So they will be acquiring the what is the knowledge will be requiring for an engineering. The second thing, they can able to analyze the problem, they can able to design or development by having of a solution. They can able to conduct investigations, and they know what are the modern tool usages will be used over here, and they will be serving to the society, and they can able to adaptation in the case of an into the environment and sustainability. They will know the ethics to work it off, and they can be ability to work as an individual and as a teamwork, and they will have a proper communication, they will have a project management and finance. Finally, they will be lifelong learning. So these are all the program outcomes, which is specifically for all the engineers, even though electronics, mechanical, computer, mechatronics, whatever it may be, all the attributes will be shared for an engineers over there. So the next one to be our course outcome. So course outcome is nothing but an, so it is a statement of for each subject, what is the statement or what is the objective, what is the outcome they can able to produce over on it. So when you ask, we'll come back to side. So for making a course outcome, we'll be seeing often Bloom's taxonomy. This is a powerful tool which was used by most of the teachers now we'll be having it. So that is a list of cognitive skills. That is, they will be determining the teachers to level of the thinking the students. So usually the students level will be in often lower order level. We have to make them in order to have often higher order level. So the Bloom's taxonomy will be ranking the from lower order to a higher order level. So actually the taxonomy was created by Benjamin Bloom in 1948, and it was remodified by the Lawrence Anderson in 1990s. So there are 6 stages in the Bloom's taxonomy. We will be having often remembrance. So where the remembrance is to be our lower level taxonomy. So here in the remembering, we have to recognize or we have to recollect what are all the studies that we had. Suppose if you are having a mathematics, so what we can do it for Tina, we have to remember all the formulas that what we had studied in our school days. That is what is the formula for a plus b whole squared, a minus b whole squared, so trigonometric relations. So what are all the things which has to be carried out, that has to be recollect, or we have to remember all things. That is to be a lower order level. So from the lower order level, then from the remembering, then we have to know, we have to understand for what, for why. So everything that has to be made in the case of a second level of thinking, understanding. Third one, all the understanding has to be given for an application. That is why we'll be going for an amplifying the fact, what are the rules, what are the concepts, what are the ideas that we'll be going over on it. And then we'll be going for an analysis. So analysis, we have to break down the information, and then finally we have to make an evaluation of all these things. Then at last we have to combining all these things, we have to make an creation. So what we want to do it of, we have to make a students from the lower level. Now they are in the remembering level. We have to train the students in order to for an creation, or in order to make and design, or they should have the ability, at least higher order level can be given of an analysis, evaluate and create. We have to develop the students in order of an in order to have a fun evaluation and an creation. The next thing is to be, so by based off on this, so I am make up on here a sample course over here. So in order to have the Bloom's taxonomy word, discuss, explain, illustrate, analysis and evaluate. So by having a knowledge of and discussion, it is goes for an evaluation. So we will be making a syllabus. Each and every unit has to be given in terms of an from the lower order to an higher order level. So these are all what we had seen overall now flowchart of me. So we'll have a program educational objectives, we'll have a program outcomes, and then course outcomes. All the outcomes or all these things has to be make an assessment. We should have an continuous quality improvement. We have to make an analysis, then we'll have a quality improvement. So this has to be in a cycle process. So already said you that the program objectives has to be framed by means of an, these are all the persons will be forming as a group in order to make an program educational objectives. So what are the benefits of OBE? So actually we can say that we'll have a revising and directed and co-current curriculum can be given over. And apart from that, we'll be having of an continuous quality improvement here. We can able to assess better, and we can give the graduates relevant to the industry and the stakeholders. We can able to meet the accreditation requirements. So summary overall that what expected changes is required over here, how OBE is applied to the program, what's our role. So as of being so educational should build the capacities of the spirit of inquiry. So by Abdul Kalam quotes. So as of we are all teachers, we are in need to give some space, or we can have to give some environment in order to think the students levels and the capability in order to come upon outcome based approach. Thank you.
அம்மா பேசாது
ஒரு வேலை ஆம்பளை கூப்பிட்டு ஆம்பளை பேசுறாங்கட்ட
Participants, the time is running off.
வீட்டுல
Now
யாரும்
any
வேலை
question
சேர்த்து யாரும்
you
பேசுறது கேட்டேன்
நாங்கதான் உள்ள உட்காந்துருக்கோம்
போனை எடுத்துட்டு யாரும் அலவன்னு கேட்டேன்
feedback form is given over here. Dear
கேட்டதா
participants, fill up the feedback form.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
You have presented well, ma'am. Very good. Good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Your name, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Lot of disturbances.
Maybe, ma'am. Your name, I can unmute the other persons, ma'am.
Myself, Lily Florence.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Lily, ma'am?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You have presented well, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other question, ma'am?
One question from myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. At present, also we are using outcome-based learning only, ma'am. Am I right?
How far we are implementing, ma'am, it's because challenging task. Outcome based, so we are all thinking that we are following up an outcome based education, but practical
Yes.
knowledge acquiring, and when we are making of an engineer, so even though we are following up, we have to work up more thing in order to develop the students knowledge, skills and the behaviors, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Dear participants, any other questions, ma'am? Any other questions, sir?
சும்மா இருப்பாரு பாத்துட்டு இருக்க மேடம்
Madam, good evening, madam.
சர்டிபிகேட் தருவானா மாட்டானா
Sir,
சரி மட்டும் இருக்கு
I have a question.
Ramanathan sir.
Yes, madam. I have.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sir, Ramanathan sir. Ramanathan sir.
Yes, madam. Now,
Sir.
now I put on my mic. Madam, I have a question, madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, for a particular subject, we say a course outcome. So, according to university, for each and every subject, they have framed five course outcome normally.
Yes, sir.
So, is there any condition? Can we reduce the outcome from 5 to 3 or 4? Is there any condition, madam, or it is a standard?
Sir, if we are having a minimum of 5 outcome, actually what we'll be doing of now, the course outcome has to be mapped with the program outcome. So I said no, 12 outcomes are there.
Yes, madam.
That is from starting from engineering knowledge to life skill learning.
Yes, madam.
So for each and every course, we know that 5 units was there.
Yes, madam.
So all the 5 units has to be mapped with the program outcome.
Okay, madam.
So if we are reducing into 3 or 4, then any of a unit will be missed the program outcome, so that the engineer should ask not the ability grammar will be finalist solution. So that is why minimum of 5 outcomes should be there. It should be a compulsory one.
Oh, that is the minimum numbers. Five course outcome.
Because since we are having of 5 units, so obviously we should have a 5 outcome should be there.
Okay, for an each unit,
For each
we
each
will have at
for
least
each
minimum one CO.
One CO for 1 unit.
Yes, minimum. That is the minimum condition, correct,
Yes,
madam?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thanks.
ஃபில் பண்ண முடியல
Ma'am, I couldn't hear your voice. Other noises are there.
On behalf of Ma'am School of Engineering, I would like to thank all the management, directors, principals.
வாங்கிக்க போயிடலாம் அம்மா